I started living my life as if I would never get married. I
Like the moment a woman stop living her life around a man, around the fact that she is going to get married someday, or whenever she get married, these are the things she's going to do. You ask a woman that, have you ever thought about, traveling to this so and so country, and they tell you, I'm going to travel there when I have my husband, or I'd like to go there with a man. Or I like to do this when I have my family. They always want to do things or not do things thinking that maybe they'll get married someday. Or some even have a particular age that already have figured out, okay, before I reach 30, I must get married and have like 3 children. So once they're already at uh, going towards that age, do not start looking for what to settle for. So I feel like if women stop living their life in that expectation of I'm going to get married someday, I feel like you'll enjoy your single life. I have some interesting videos to share with you. Let's watch these videos of these ladies talking about how they stop centering themselves around marriage and how they how they started centering men in their lives, and this make their single lives better. Let's watch these videos together, then we'll come back and talk about it.
started living my life as if I would never get married. Let me tell you, that just change in perspective has made me enjoy being single times a million. And that's not an exaggeration. Because as women, there's so many little things that we do to ourselves as we make choices that are conditional on, like, well, if I get married one day, I would want to do this with my husband. Or if I do this, then maybe if I meet someone, then I won't be as available and I won't be as... Who cares about that? I started living my life the way that I want it right now. And actually, that has made me more receptive to the idea of a relationship at some point, but only under certain conditions, which is the goal. That's the goal, ladies. Like, to only want a relationship under certain conditions. The way I was thinking before prevented me from buying property, getting a dog, settling down, because I was like, well, I want to be able to be like available to a man, but no, I am available to the right man. And the right man is going to do what it takes. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to explain any further. The right man's going to do what it takes. And until I meet him, I am going to live the life that I want to live. The dog thing was big because in the back of my mind, I was like, well, I would want to get a little dog, but I don't know what type of dog, like, maybe my future husband would want. So I'll just like not get one. Weird. But that's how I was thinking, even though I wasn't really aware of it. That's how I was thinking. I held off on getting a dog. Well, what do dogs provide? Companionship, love, affection. And what was luring me into relationships with the wrong men? Companionship, affection. So getting the dog has completely eliminated that like starvation of like, I don't have any affection or companionship in my life as I'm like living alone and whatever. It also prevented me from buying property because I was like, well, I don't want to be tied down anywhere. Like, I've lived different places. And so I was thinking I didn't want to put down roots somewhere and then meet somebody who lives somewhere else, because then I wouldn't be as like available. And again, it's like, no. The right man is going to do what it takes. That is what it is. It's not up to me. It's up to God. God's going to figure that one out. And until then, I'm going to set up my life the way that I want it. So yeah, I bought an apartment. Yeah, I got a dog. Because living your life in anticipation of getting married is centering men. That is centering men. Even if you're not actively centering men in every decision during your day, it's centering your life around the possibility of a man, which is even more embarrassing if you think about it. It's like, dude, there isn't even a man there and you're still centering a hypothetical man. Oh, no. So I had to cut that out. And once I stopped centering a hypothetical husband in the future, I started living the life that I wanted and getting the things that I wanted in my life. And guess what? I'm happier for it. I'm so much happier. I'm not doing things in the hope of meeting someone. I'm not even thinking about any of that. And it's such a relief. It's such a mental load gone. It is a mental load that I no longer am interested in carrying. I've been carrying that around since I started even dating as a teenager. Women carry around the mental load of one day meeting their husband since we've been in high school. And releasing that mental load is amazing. That changed the game for me. It's another level of decentering men. And this is how even if you don't have a man in your life, you end up centering a hypothetical future man that may never come into existence. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. And I just decided I'm not doing this anymore. I am not going to live my life in anticipation of a hypothetical man. But that is what patriarchy teaches women to do. And I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm in between work meetings right now, but I just saw a creator talking about women living in anticipation of getting married. And something that I've been doing to kind of reframe that mindset is to live like I am never going to get married. Like, I don't want to build an entire life around the idea that I am getting married or around a man. Like, I have been trying to figure out what my next steps are since I'm moving back home with my family and I'm leaving DC. And I find myself being like, okay, but like by 30, I'll probably be getting married, or like I'll meet someone and and then like I can't do this because I'm gonna have him. And it's like, why am I framing my entire life around a man that doesn't exist yet? Like, I'm putting aside my like wants and desires for the arbitrary hope that I'm going to find a man and get married. And like, I have to constantly check myself to remind myself, my life is not about being a wife. My life is not about being married. My life is not about any of that. My life is about me and my wants and my desires. If I happen to meet someone that fits into my life goals and my wants and my desires, and it makes sense, and we're in an equal partnership that genuinely is fulfilling and makes me the best version of myself, then absolutely. But trying to just plan my life around getting married and having that be like an absolute, like, well, yeah, I'm gonna get married. I don't want to be in a position where, let's say, I hit this arbitrary goal of like, I want to be married by 30, and then I hit 30 and then that's not the case. And then I feel like my life is crashing down around me because I haven't hit certain goals. And having marriage as a goal is a whole other conversation. I think that's really odd and strange, to be honest. But I've been really noticing that in the language of, honestly, even me and some of my friends, where we'll be like, yeah, but like when we're wives and like with our husbands and when we're married, and it's like, why do we do that? I get why we do that, because we've been conditioned to do that since birth, basically, especially for, you know, African women. Like, I think we've been primed to become wives and mothers from a really young age, and it's hard to deconstruct that from your mind. But now that I'm like on my own, I'm 25, and like I thought I'd be married by 25, and that's not the case, and I'm honestly very happy about that. My mom got married at 25, and I saw how that worked out for her, and that didn't go well, so I'm glad that I am not in that position. But I think that as women, we need to let go of the anticipation of getting married. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get married. I'm not saying that. But planning your whole life and putting things aside or putting things off because I'll probably be married by X age, or I don't know, making decisions based off of that is just deeply harmful and leaves you in a position where you are sidestepping your own wants and desires for a man that literally doesn't exist.
I feel like most brown girls, like as a brown girl myself, I'll say this, we're raised to believe that like our life starts when we get married, and that we can like do all the things that we want to. We can travel, move out, etc. like once we get married. But I think over the past year or so, like I've developed the opposite sense. Like, I feel like my life is gonna end, my freedom is gonna end when I get married, and I need to do everything I want to do right now. And then when I started thinking like that, I just realized, like, I don't want to ever get married. So I started living my life like I will never get married. I stopped looking for the one. I stopped looking for people. I just stopped looking around. Like, it's not like I guess in a sense I did close myself off a little, but not that much. But I just stopped thinking about it. And I started focusing on everything else in my life besides the topic of marriage, which is so hard, especially in the brown community. But it has improved my life so much. Like, I think about what I want to do, how I want to live my life, how I want to set up myself for the future that I envision for myself. And, like, it sounds so self-centered, but I do have friends and they add really good value to my life. But I just don't think I'm looking for love, or I'm looking for a partner like that. Like, somebody else to give their opinion on what I should do, somebody else to give their opinion on where I should go. Yeah, that's just not for me, honestly. My life just improved so much more when I accepted that I'm never gonna get married. I stopped anticipating it, and that has helped my anxiety a lot. You know, like, my life is exactly what it is now. I'm not working towards something that might or might not happen.
The fact that we women have always been programmed to always do things for a man because of a man, so that a man is going to be happy without thinking about our own happiness. We've always been programmed to always center men. So that makes sense for us to always want to think about marriage. You always be programmed to always center marriage as well. You see, a woman doesn't want to change her look, or trying to change her look, or trying to do something, or dress a certain way, and the next thing she's already thinking of the man that she has not even met. I don't know if my husband is going to like this type of piercing I want to do. Maybe she want to pierce her belly, or she wants to pierce her boobs, or she wants to pierce somewhere very crazy. And the next thing you see her talking about, I don't know if the man I'm going to marry is going to like it. And I'm like, what if you don't get married? Or what if the man, what are you even thinking of a man you're going to marry to decide what you want to do for yourself because you like it? Different thing might even be the way you dress, the way where you go, or the kind of things that you do. A lot of people always think about the man that they've not even met, especially the ones that want to marry them. They're always prepping themselves for a man to marry them. So that's why once they meet a man at that certain age that they've already decided, oh, this is the age I'm going to get married. Once they get to that certain age, you can't talk to them anyhow. You see them settling, you see them just seeing only the good and the man, and ignore all the old red flags, because in their head they've already programmed themselves, at this age I'm going to get married, at this age I'm going to have so and so kids for this man. So they just automatically start preparing for marriage and all of that. So I feel like if single women that still want to get married, because there are some single women that are single by choice, have decided that they're not going to get married because, of course, we know what marriage does to women, right? So some women have decided not to get married at all, and they will decide to live their life as single by choice. So if you still want to get married, and you still want to get married later in the years or later in life, living your life in that expectation that one day I'm going to get married, you might not enjoy your single self. Just like one of the creators was saying, she was thinking of getting a dog, but then she's like, what if the husband she marries doesn't like this particular dog? The man that you've not even met. What if the man doesn't even like dog? So thinking about that, see, because she likes a particular dog, she's not going to get it, because she's thinking, what if I get this dog and the man I'm going to marry tells me he does not like dog? What am I going to do? Why are you thinking about a man before you do something that you like? That's the point. Why are you thinking about why are you thinking about somebody you've not met, what he likes, and you're thinking you want to actually do the things that he likes before you do the things that you like? Those are the conditions they've actually conditioned women to do. We should always be selfless, put ourselves backward, like always put people first before we actually think about ourselves. In fact, most of the time, we women don't even think about ourselves. Whatever makes us happy, whatever we like, we don't actually do them, because if other people are not happy with it, we're not going to do it, right? So if you're considering getting something, considering going to a particular country, you're considering changing your lifestyle, changing a particular thing about your body or something. It might even be, some women want to do VBL, liposuction, and they're like, I don't want to go and do liposuction because I'm going to get pregnant and have children. What if? I'm like, what if you don't get pregnant? Like, what if you don't even know if you can conceive? You don't even know. Like, what if? Like, you don't even know what's going to happen. So why are you thinking about all these things? If you want to get all these things done, get them done and stop thinking about what if your man is that you're going to marry does not like a woman, women with low cut? What if the man you want to marry does not like women with locks, so you don't want to lock your hair? There are so many things. There are so many things that women want to do, or single women want to do, but then they are not doing them because they are thinking, what if the man I want to marry is not going to like this thing? What am I going to do? So if you keep thinking about yourself, if you still want to get married and you're still thinking about things you want to do, and putting men in that picture, first of all, you're not distracting men yet. Second of all, you're not going to enjoy yourself. That little moment, that little period you have, that single period you have, you're not going to enjoy it. And later on, you regret it. Really. You regret why you didn't make some decisions before you got married, why you didn't actually think about yourself or do the things that you like personally before being in the marriage institute. Anyway, you guys, what's your take on this video? Kindly share your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, your girl Mara David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, guys.